Welcome to Hive AV. Today we'll be going over the Hive Node IR. We'll start out looking at the device itself. We'll go over some of the basic first use initializations and configurations. We'll take a look at the Hive help utility. Then we'll look at the web page. We'll also review the node learn, which is the utility that will help you learn IR commands from a remote. We'll look at the IR database, which should be helpful in controlling devices. Every Hive Node kit comes with Hive Node Mini, and this is that right here. You can kind of see that right there. It comes with this, and it's intended to be PoE powered. And it comes with a little 1/8 inch jack right here, 3.5 millimeter. So every kit's going to come with its accessory. It's PoE powered, standard PoE, and you can see that right here. It'll light up when it gets power. You'll see a nice little green light here. If you ever need to factory reset it, this little button right there will get you that. Great. Let's look at the IR. So the IR comes with what's called a triport. If you just need to use one IR, you're still able to use this, but you'll have to change the setting on the web UI. And we'll go over that later. By default, it's going to be set up to use with the triport, and then you'll be able to assign which one you want to go out. And that's part of the actual IR code. We'll go over that a little bit later too. So this connects to that, and then the IR bug right here, that's the emitter, will then connect in to each port, and each port has a number on it. And you can see 1, 2, 3, and then we're able to connect up to 3. And these will send out discrete commands, which is great. And you can see, they're already lighting up. Great. Discrete commands, and that you can send to like 3 different displays. Now that you have your Hive Node IR all connected up, we'll want to discover it using the node help utility. This command, it gets discovered, and it already captured a DHCP address. That's by default. So you can open the web page just simply by clicking on it. By default, the Hive Node Mini is ready to go, right? The default setting should be infrared. If you're going to use the triport, then just leave it at that. If you want to just use one port, then you just hit single port, and then all you need to do is connect that one port straight to the Hive Node Mini. Let's take a look at the Hive Node IR, and specifically we're going to use the node learn to learn in some commands from a remote, and then we'll also look at the control tower IR base or database and how to access that. Let's first take a look at the web page, and you can see here it's all set up for infrared. I have my Hive Node, and I have my triport right here, my 3 IR emitters. First, we'll learn some codes, right? And again, you can find these utilities on the product page. Here we go. Great. So we'll want to select the Hive Node Mini, and then we'll want to put in that IP address. See there, it found it, and it's connected. If you see here on the Hive Node, there's a little hole at the very top, right? It's kind of difficult to see. That's where the IR receiver is, and so it can receive those commands through that hole. So you'll want to point the remote right straight down like that, maybe 2 or 3 inches away. Just press the button that you want to learn, and then you'll see it show up right there. And then if you want to copy it, I think you can copy it from here. You hit the edit button, then it'll populate here, and then you can send it out right here if I wanted to. If I test it right now, you'll see that it'll go out of port 1, right? And port 1 is right here. And if I do a test, right, it's blinking. Great. Just want to make sure. So that port 1 is the second number here. If you change that to 2, then it should send it out of 2. Let's see. There's my 2, and 3, and so forth, right? Now, another way, if you're, say this terminal down here, let's pretend that this terminal is a control system like Hive, or some of the other ones that are out there, right? Well, you'd want to basically paste this command. You'd want to connect to the IP address of the device and port 4998. And that's the proxy port, basically. Copy this up here, copy it, paste it down here, and then just hit enter. And you can even see that it completed it, and it even gave me feedback back. So it gave me a nice, clear feedback, and then it also blinks the light as well. If you want to use a database, you can go to irdb.globalcache.com /database, and this control tower you'd want to register so that you can download whole code sets. It's going to send that whole code set to my email, and it'll look like this. And then you would find the command that you want to. So you'll want to use that first format, right? And it starts with the send IR, and then it ends right here, right? And it's that first that last one right there. So it's a little bit confusing, but there you go. And now that sent out the IR. So they give it to you in two different formats. The control system, but for Hive, Versa uses the same global cache format, and it can also use Prana. And it uses a port similar to what the Hive Node IR uses. But we'll go into that in another video. Thank you for your time. Okay, let's take a look now at the Hive Node IR inside of Hive AV. We're in settings mode right now, and I'm going to come over and I'm going to go to devices, nodes. You can see I already added a Hive Node relay, a Hive Node IR, or RS-232, and now I'm going to add the Hive Node IR. Let's see here. I'll put in the IP address and change this to doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, doesn't really matter. And if I wanted to, I could access the global cache database here, but it's probably better to do that from your laptop. The product pages right here, you can find a lot of the utilities that we just went over, and also the manual. All right, pressing on the X is going to save it, and it's also going to set that cable port, right? So it creates this hyperlink, and I can click right on that and verify that my cable type is set up correctly, right? Infrared. And then it's set for the three emitters, and I'll be using just that port 1, right? And we went over how to change which port to go out of manually. Clicking on this will take us back here, and we'll want to set this up as a preset of some type. We could do power, but let me just show you what it looks like inside of presets. This one, let's call this IR, and we can change icon if we want to, something else, doesn't really matter. And then you would just come in here and you go click on IR, and this is where you'd paste those IR codes that we went over earlier, right? And it's going to look like something like this. And if I wanted to tell it which port to go out of, I would change that 1 to 2 or 3. For the way as default, it's going to go out of port 1. And now if I wanted to test this, say it's a TV power on or power command, just clicking on this is going to execute that. And that those presets will be available on the NU UI as well, right up here. So you can set it up as a standard preset, or you can connect it to the power on and off to turn on and off, mainly displays. But there's other things in the works. We will have drivers in the future for IR control of cable boxes and other devices that are just easier to control over IR. All right, thank you for joining me. Thanks again for joining me for this Hive Node IR tutorial. If you want to find out more information about the Hive Node family, or Versa 4K, the Hive Touch, the Hive AV app, and its new room combo feature set, please watch the other accompanying videos. Thank you again.